FBI informant in the Uranium One probe revealed today. His name is William Campbell. He worked as a lobbyist for a Russian firm, confirmed to Reuters that he will testify before Congress about Hillary Clinton's role in the 2010 deal, which relinquished 20% of U.S. uranium reserves to Russia. Campbell's attorney has said there's on-the-record quid pro quo surrounding the deal. Joining me now for more, Fox News national security strategist and contributor, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. So, Doctor, we have a name, we have a witness. He claims to have some kind of proof. How solid is that proof going to have to be to get something on Hillary Clinton?
You've just asked the $64,000 question. We are facing... We have a president who's faced down the international threats. We've crushed ISIS in Mosul, in Raqqa. We're dealing with North Korea every day. But we have an internal threat, and it's a very simple one. It's one of moral fortitude and substance. Are we a nation of laws? And is there anybody who is above the law? Is Hillary Clinton and really her criminal cartel of decades above the law or not? The idea that we had James Comey cook the books before the investigation was finished on Servergate, the idea we now know from within the FBI that her case was given special treatment, sealed off from other FBI agents at the highest level. Uranium One has the potential to be the largest national security scandal since the end of World War II. 20% of our uranium sold to Russia. Are they above the law? We will now find out, David.
And selling real estate, selling United States real estate, particularly involving uranium, to another country. Now, we should mention that a lot of the people involved in Rosatom, the Russian agency that was responsible for getting that 20% of uranium, there were all of these, I think there was a total of 9 of the board members gave contributions to the Clinton Foundation at around the same time that all this was being discussed. To which I would say, I know a little bit about Russia. I covered it back in the days when they were transforming from the Soviet Union into Russia. There were no philanthropists there in my days. They don't give money to beggars on the street, let alone to U.S. foundations. There must have been some quid pro quo, no?
Fabulous observation. Your work with the Wall Street Journal, you know that in Central and Eastern Europe there was no indigenous philanthropy. The philanthropy that was there came from the outside, from us, from the West, from Western European nations. But then suddenly the Clintons get $140 million from Russia into their account. Yeah, that didn't happen out of the goodness of some rich Russian magnate's heart. That's not how it works out there. It is pay for play. Hillary was the chairman of the CFIUS committee that had to approve that sale. We have legislation on the books, David, that requires that America is not dependent on anybody else for our uranium. By law, we must be independent. She said, no need, let's sell 20% of it to Vladimir, my buddy.
Well, even, by the way, if you were to accept the deal as an honest deal, which a lot of people doubt, it was the uranium was not supposed to leave the U.S., although apparently some did. Some was sent up to Canada, from which it was then sent over to Europe.
Not only that, yes, we now know that we were lied to. The American people were lied to, that it wouldn't be sold to foreign powers, which it was. More importantly, when the decision was taken by Hillary and other members of the Obama administration to sell this uranium, that deal was under investigation by the FBI because of the corruption occurring inside America, the people being paid off, that trucking company. This was a federal investigation that shouldn't even have got to that decision-making body as it was being investigated, but it did, and it was approved thanks to Hillary.
Now, some people say that the particular FBI investigation didn't necessarily have to do with the Uranium One deal. However, it showed this climate of corruption that surrounds an institution. The guy who was finally sent to jail was in charge of the U.S. operations of uranium deals with Russia. That was his purview. That was what he was in charge of. And for him to be sent to jail for bribery, kickbacks, et cetera, you name it, shows that there was a climate of corruption surrounding a company that we sold 20% of our uranium to.
That argument that these things are disconnected simply does not hold water. How do we know that? We have now this email, thanks, I believe, to Judicial Watch, from Loretta Lynch, threatening Mr. Campbell, threatening this informant, saying, if you don't keep to your non-disclosure agreement, I will get you imprisoned. We have an acting AG threatening an American citizen to keep your mouth shut about what you know about the uranium deal. So that is, that's pretty damning evidence.